News this morning, the Trump administration is ratcheting up the pressure on Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. And the effort to keep health care affordable failed to garner the votes needed. We'll catch you up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller, here with you on this Friday, December 12th. The time is now 6 a.m., so let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Well, Megan, if we weren't already seeing those winter weather systems, we certainly are now. That snow was coming down this morning.
Yeah, it definitely was, and unfortunately this has been a very wintry and cold start to your month. Normally we're not this cold, and normally we don't see this much snow by now, so at least there's that to give you a little bit of some silver lining for future Decembers to come. But in terms of what we're seeing this morning, definitely a snowy start. Seeing those heavy bands of snow between portions of Rowan County down to Logan County, West Virginia. We'll continue to watch that throughout the morning hours. But in terms of those temperatures, really just going to be a mixture of the upper 20s and low 30s as you're heading out the door. So gloves, hats, anything you can do to keep yourself bundled up for today will be necessary. Highs this afternoon will thankfully warm up just a little bit, upper 30s and low 40s, with the warmest temperatures of the day around that 4 o'clock time frame. Caroline.
Thanks, Megan. The suspect in Tuesday's deadly Kentucky State University shooting in Frankfort had his first court hearing yesterday. 48-year-old Jacob Bard is charged with killing 19-year-old Dejon Darrell Fox Jr. and injuring another student. He pleaded not guilty. He'll be back in court December 16th. In Laurel County, one man was taken to jail after he was found with a rifle while being under the influence. Police were called to Kentucky 1376 on Tuesday when they received a call about a possible drunk driver. When they came across Rob Gilbert, they say he was slurring his speech and that his breath smelled of alcohol. They say he also had a rifle in his car. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. While we're concerned about snow, an atmospheric river is slamming the Pacific Northwest with a record-breaking amount of rainfall. Torrential rain caused a mudslide to crash down on Highway I-90 east of Seattle, and several other major roads are also impassable due to the storm. Crews have been working around the clock to rescue people from flooded neighborhoods, some who didn't follow evacuation orders ahead of time. But some residents made sure their cows got out of danger. In Mount Vernon, the flood walls are up and being tested, with the Skagit River expected to hit record levels.
This morning, and I had to evacuate my animals and all my belongings, and I don't know what's to come or what's to come of like the homes and our community.
Washington's governor declared a state of emergency, and he predicted as many as 100,000 residents could face evacuation orders. Some rivers aren't expected to reach their high point until this weekend, and more rain is expected next week. Earlier this week, U.S. Special Forces seized a massive oil tanker that the White House says was transporting sanctioned oil used to fuel the country's narco-terrorism regime. Sources tell CBS News the administration is planning more seizures. CBS News' Jarrett Hill has more from New York.
It's going to be starting on land pretty soon.
President Trump is threatening more action against Venezuela, saying this week's seizure of a tanker off the country's coast was about more than illicit oil, but also illegal immigration and drug trafficking.
It was a successful operation directed by the president to ensure that we're pushing back on a regime that is systematically covering and flooding our country with deadly drugs.
As the tanker now heads to a U.S. port and the White House says investigators are interviewing its crew, sources warn that the Trump administration is planning to seize more ships.
We're not going to stand by and watch sanctioned vessels sail the seas with black market oil, the proceeds of which will fuel narco-terrorism of rogue and illegitimate regimes around the world.
Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro slammed the tanker operation on state TV Thursday, likening it to pirates of the Caribbean. On Capitol Hill, there are bipartisan calls for more transparency from the White House.
What are we doing down there? No one's told us.
The president has stated
neither to us nor the American people what exactly the end game, the strategy, the goal is here.
This as the Trump administration has slapped new sanctions on people and businesses with ties to Maduro, including 3 of his wife's nephews, a businessman with connections to Maduro, and 6 shipping companies that operate in Venezuela's oil sector. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Last night, House Speaker Mike Johnson saw the classified video of the second strike during a briefing by the operations commander. Afterward, Johnson said he believed the second strike was, quote, entirely appropriate. A federal judge in Maryland has ordered the immediate release of Comar Abrego Garcia from ICE custody. Garcia was mistakenly deported to El Salvador in March, but was later brought back to the U.S. to face human smuggling charges. Since then, the Trump administration has struggled to find a new country for him. Recently, they said they intended to deport him to Liberia. A Homeland Security spokesperson called the judge's order naked judicial activism and said the department would fight it in court. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock says Democrats can turn the country around if they win the midterm elections, but they need to focus on improving Americans' lives. He says the American dream is slipping away. The Georgia lawmaker says housing is a key component to making the country more affordable, and he believes the federal government should play a larger role in the process.
Local governments want federal money to build roads. Those roads had better lead to homes. And if they won't build, the federal government has built homes before. It could put shovels in the ground again today, building and selling homes directly to Americans at a lower cost.
The Georgia Democrat says the federal government should also play a stronger role in cutting health care costs, especially when it comes to insurance. He also adds Democrats need to create a system where people feel success is attainable. The effort to keep health care affordable flatlined on Capitol Hill yesterday. Both the Democrat and Republican solutions failed to garner 60 votes. The Democrats' plan would have extended expiring subsidies for 3 years. The Republican version focused on bolstering health care savings accounts. Neither survived, and the finger-pointing has already begun.
Senate Republicans just shoved the American people off the side of a cliff, with no parachute and with an anchor tied to their feet.
Chuck Schumer is not sincerely interested in lowering health care costs for the American people. He's putting this vote on the floor knowing that it will fail so he can have another talking point that he can throw around.
This is an especially bitter defeat for Democrats who held the line for 43 days through the government shutdown with the objective of extending credits. With no solution in sight, those subsidies are set to expire on December 31st. Yesterday morning at the old state capitol, Kentuckians paused to salute the Commonwealth's military veterans during the National Wreaths Across America Day. It was a time to pay honor to those who have served and gave the ultimate sacrifice. The Wreaths Across America ceremony is where one wreath is placed at the flag base of each U.S. military branch and one for the prisoners of war.
We're still talking about those cold temperatures and snow chances this morning. So here's what you need to know as you're heading out the door. You're not only going to need to spend some extra time to wipe off the dust off your car from the snow, but also maybe a little bit of some extra time to warm up your car. I mean, we're talking low 30s this morning, some folks in the upper 20s. And by the afternoon, we're looking at highs only in the upper 30s and low 40s. Still very much cold for this time of year. Now, as we look towards satellite view radar, you can see where that snow is still in place this morning, seeing heavy accumulations already picking up for our far northern counties, and more snow is on the way. We won't wait. We won't see those snow chances clearing out until later on, and by the time we head into the early afternoon, it will look a lot clearer here in the region. High temperatures for the day, again, upper 30s, low 40s. That'll be around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time frame. Caroline.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, ever wondered who makes Santa's legendary sweets? Apparently, the global hub is Alabama.